Hey guys, Ben here and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Superman and Lois Season 3. We're going to be talking about a little bit of a theory, also a bit of an update in regards to Melissa Benoist and what she's doing, because I know lots of you guys are fans from Supergirl and want to stay updated, and we're going to keep you updated. That's just how it is. Yes, it's not Arrowverse related, but we care about what she does next, and same thing goes for when The Flash ends. I'll be updating you guys what Grant is doing next. It's just, you know, a continuation, I guess, of after the show's end. But for now, if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any DCTV videos later this year. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about Melissa Benoist. So Melissa obviously ended Supergirl a while ago and she's been on a break. However, behind the scenes, she's been working with Warner Brothers again, still staying in the same kind of league, but she has a deal with her new production company and Warner Brothers to produce TV shows and projects for HBO Max. And one of the projects she's been working on recently is titled The Girls on the Bus. Now this is based off of a book and Melissa is clearly passionate about it. I believe she is one of the producers as well as being the main lead star in the TV show. Now, I don't know how many episodes the TV show is, I don't know how long it's going to be until we actually see it, but we're going to be seeing it on HBO Max supposedly, and they have started filming. And so what you've seen online over the past week, you've seen photos released of Melissa on set, and now I don't know if these actually are official photos or not. So I'm just going to be safe and I'm going to link them in the description below because I couldn't actually find the original source of the photos. I will include one photo on the screen right here so you can see Melissa on the set. She's got this laptop and obviously it's got stickers all over it about, you know, different things that her character is interested in, and apparently she's a journalist, so that kind of fits in with what she did on Supergirl obviously, which is exciting for Supergirl fans. But apart from this, basically Melissa is just sitting here on the laptop, presumably in the middle of the night it looks like, just outside on some pallets. And so yeah, that is kind of the update. She's going to be working with Carla Gugino. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's a really good actor. Maybe you guys know her from The Haunting of Hill House or any kind of Mike Flanagan show. She's on a lot of them and a lot of the films that he's made, so highly recommend you watch The Haunting of Hill House. So they're going to be both starring in The Girls on the Bus, which is very exciting, and the photos that they released are very funny. Like the ones I'll link in the description below, you see Melissa like flipping off whoever is in the distance and yeah, just going absolutely insane. So that is very exciting. That is one update in regards to Melissa. She is shooting that right now. But also, Melissa was just in a newly released film, that being Clerks 3, along with Chris Wood, obviously Melissa's husband, and Marnell from Supergirl. And apparently they had a small cameo role. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below to it, because it's very funny, because in it they're just like being themselves and being goofy, and basically it's a comedy film, and this is just a great little segment in the film where she is just pretending to be like a musical theatre nerd, giving ideas to these kind of casting directors, obviously, who are one of the leads in Clerks 3, directed by Kevin Smith. Obviously, Kevin Smith has a big link to Melissa, and Melissa was even in his latest film before this, that being Jay and Silent Bob, the reboot, and that was a really good film. So yeah, I'm very excited to actually watch this film finally. Clerks 3, I believe it's out now in cinemas, so go watch it while you can. So that is kind of the updates in regards to Melissa Benoist, and let's move on to the next topic. So this next topic is to do with Superman and Lois. As you guys know, Superman and Lois at the end of season 2 established that it was in the Arrowverse, but on a different Earth, and basically the showrunner openly admitted to saying, oh, you know, if we want to introduce characters, we can do it now because basically we have a clean slate, and also if we introduce characters that have been in the Arrowverse before, we're probably going to recast them and give them new origin stories. And so we've been theorizing about who could actually show up, especially people who have appeared in the past on Supergirl. And so, you know, we talked about Supergirl, like could it be actually Melissa, or would it be a recast Supergirl, or would it be Supergirl but not Supergirl, like a version of Power Girl? That could totally be a thing. But we theorize about that in other videos, so you can check them out. I'll be linking them throughout this video at the top of the screen, or you can just go type it in on my channel for the latest Supergirl videos. But today we're going to be talking about a theory in regards to another Supergirl character that could, and I think should, actually show up at some point, and that person is Jimmy Olsen, aka James Olsen. So on Supergirl we had Jimmy Olsen, and James, as he is referred to in Supergirl, is obviously a huge character in that show. He was played by Macabre Brooks. You guys know he was a great Jimmy, and he was like best friends with Supergirl, even a love interest at one point. But in that, they established at the start in season 1 that he was like best friends with Superman, and he always kept in contact. So people throughout Superman and Lois in the past few seasons have questioned, why has Jimmy Olsen not been even mentioned once? And we can kind of presume now that's because on this Earth there was no Jimmy Olsen, there was no best friend for Superman at the Daily Planet. So I think that opens the door up for us looking back in the past, because they do like to look back in the past. Obviously you've seen that recently with Natalie and everything that's been happening with her and them coming from the other world. But was there actually a Jimmy Olsen in the Daily Planet, but they've just never referenced it? That could totally be an option, and when they eventually decide, if they do, to reveal a Jimmy Olsen, they can basically say, oh yeah, you know, hey Jimmy, it's been a long time, like what's going on? And they could totally recast him. And I would say my best theory is probably would be a recasting, unless they can get Macabre Brooks back and they would do a similar situation to what they did with Lucy Lane, and basically get Jenna Darwin back, but instead get Macabre Brooks back and play the same character but in a different way. And as Todd Helbing, the showrunner of the show, mentioned, if they bring back some of these characters and they choose to use them, they'll probably re-establish and reinvent their origin stories. So it wouldn't be the Jimmy Olsen that we know, and you've seen that recently with John Diggle, and yes, that has ticked off a lot of people in kind of the wrong way. But I think it's, you know, not bad to theorize about, you know, something like this happening, because Jimmy is a pivotal character in Superman's comics, and you know, also in Supergirl, so he's been a big Arrowverse character, and I wouldn't be opposed to them actually recasting just to bring him onto the show, because I feel like that could be something that would definitely spice up the show, give kind of Clark more of a sort of friend who is from his past that we don't really see on the show. It's mainly like Smallville people. So imagine if Jimmy showed up, and you know, Clark is starting to do a bit more journalism stuff, because he is supposedly joining the Smallville Gazette very soon, potentially at the start of the new season, so that's going to be a big change for him, and maybe he could re-establish contact with some of his past friends and colleagues and sources from Metropolis. And we know that he's going to Metropolis at least at the start of the season, because there was those leaked set photos where we got to see Superman's new suit, or just like really kind of newly designed suit. Even though it looks somewhat similar, it was a very good addition. I can't wait to see it, but that's kind of a sidetrack. So let's go back to Jimmy. So yeah, he could totally show up if, you know, Clark gets back into the journalism game. I understand if Jimmy doesn't show up and Clark kind of continues down this path right now, because potentially that would not give us a reason to have Jimmy show up. There's always the option that he could just totally show up out of nowhere, but it all really comes down to how much does the Superman Lois showrunner actually want to take from Superman's comics and actually bring it to the show. Is he wanting to keep it more to himself? Obviously they're taking huge inspiration from certain Superman comics, but they want to keep it kind of new and fresh, and they've made it very clear that they don't want to be like the Arrowverse. They want to create a new Superverse. They want to make everything in their own way and not be kind of established and bound by rules of the past. So maybe they just don't want to go back and get some of those characters, but you see them getting new characters who are from the comics, like Bruno Mannheim showing up in season 3. So I don't see why not bring some of those major Superman characters from the comics and bring them to Superman and Lois. And in the case of Jimmy Olsen, you could totally get Macabre Brooks if he's free. I don't know if he is, but that would be awesome. And it's all really down to whatever they're thinking is right for season 3, season 4. I don't know if it will happen, but potentially it would happen further along the line. That would be my guess. So yeah, that kind of does it for that topic and everything that we needed to talk about in this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Also, you can subscribe and turn on notifications to not miss any future videos. Also, please be sure to become a member of the channel. How can you become a member? Click the join button below and become a super friend, and on becoming a member you will be invited to the Instagram group chat that we have for members, and you will be invited to organize the live streams that we do with members, and you can come on screen and actually talk to me and talk about the Arrowverse and everything, and the DCEU, anything you want to talk about really that's kind of relevant. Also, we do monthly members Zoom calls. They're a bit delayed as of right now, but we do try and make them happen. So there's some good perks, so please be sure to become a member to support the channel, but also be able to appear on the channel, which I think is very cool. So for now, thank you guys so much for watching. Click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.